I pulled the wheels off the Civic so I could paint them, but I didn't realize how dirty they were behind the hubcaps. These things are just caked in dirt. Been on there forever. But you can see it's got rust all in between where the gaps were on the hubcaps. But I'm gonna take those to the car wash tonight and get them cleaned up. That way I can put a new coat of paint on them, get them looking decent again. But while I had those pulled off, I figured I would treat this as if it was my own. And I went ahead and sprayed some fresh black on all the suspension components and steering components and brake calipers. And then I did the drums in the rear and sprayed all the rear suspension that I could get to as well, even the control arms and the subframe there. But clean it up a little bit, just something to make it look a little more presentable and maybe make this stuff last a little bit longer. Alright, I got the top dead center sensor replaced on this Civic, but now it's got a little bit of a new problem. It's got a bit of a hard start. I've done a little bit of research on it after I got that sensor in, and it looks like it could be the coolant temperature sensor. So I'll probably go ahead and throw one of those in it and see if it gets rid of this problem. After the car started, it seems like it runs pretty decent. It revs nice, it idles nice, but right now it's not warmed up, so it's idling a little bit high. But yeah, so I think I'm gonna throw a coolant temperature sensor in it and see if that mends this problem. Alright, we've got the Civic all back together and washed, and see the wheels look a lot better, tires are all cleaned up. Got the headlights polished out. Cleaned up in here a little bit. It's not really perfect, but it's washed and decent looking. I replaced that top dead center sensor, drove the car, and it's still got the same issue, so I'm guessing that it's going to need the cam replaced. So I'm going to list the car as is. If I sit on it for too long, then I'll go ahead and fix it and relist it. But as of right now, I'll just list it as it is. Kind of halfway cleaned up the inside. It's dirty from climbing in and out of it a few times since then, but cleaned up fairly decent for no more effort than what I put into it. But if the car was completely fixed, I was gonna clean it up super nice and wax it and get every possible inch of it as clean as I could. But since it's still having some issues and I'm gonna list it as is, I don't feel the need to put in all that extra effort to not have the big cash payout at the end. So yeah, here it is all back together, and we'll see what happens with it. And just like that, it's getting pretty empty in here. Just this week we've sold the little red Mazda, the black Civic, and the green and orange 71 Beetle. So really the only thing I've got left to move right now is this Buick. Get it sold and out of the way, and then I think I'm going to focus on the rental house for a little while. Try to get it ready to get a renter in it before it gets too cold outside. And it's supposed to be nice this whole week, so I'll work on it the next couple of days and try to work on it a little bit this weekend. And then once I've got it ready to get a renter in there, we're going to work on the little black Mazda parts truck and hopefully be getting some parts sold off of the Tahoe. and get it ready to be completely parted out. Yeah, we're moving in the right direction finally, moving some cars out of the way and making some space and making a little bit of money along the way. So we'll see what we end up with next.